Alright, so number 7 here, we did it around his neck and around the flanks, gotten all that kind of good coming off of his neck, put it around his cinch and around his flank. And now I want to be able to put a rope on one of those hind feet and kind of get him to start, when he feels pressure on that hind foot, I want him to stop. And when he's really good, I should be able to send him around here at a full canter or a lope or gallop or anything. Whatever you want to do. And he feels any pressure, he should come to a screeching halt immediately. What do you see over there, buddy? So, this all starts here. They get cast in their stall. This helps them not panic. I have some horses, they'll get cast and they'll just lay there and go, dude, I need help, I'm stuck and I know not to move. And it also is the beginning for being able to hobble your horses. Horses should all be able to be hobbled. You never know when you have to do it. Or, again, they just get hung up. You want them okay with not being able to move their feet. You want them to relax, not to panic. So, since he might go flying around here a little bit, I'm definitely going to make sure all my coils are in line. I don't want my fingers stuck. I want my coils to be nice and smooth. Okay, and I'm going to take this and let down a little bit. I'm going to come back here. Some horses do this really well, some don't. The ones that drag their feet, this might take a minute. But I'm going to see if I can get him to kind of step through that hind foot. There we go. Oh, nice. And get it down a little bit further. There. Tighten that up. Now, I don't want him to go that way. I want him to go this way. I don't want to cross body this rope yet, because I don't want him to accidentally step on it with the other foot and burn himself. And again, do not do this with gloves. If you're going to burn somebody, burn yourself first. If it hurts you, you're going to burn the horse, and you're certainly not going to help him if you put him in pain doing this. So I'm going to let him kind of walk around holding this. And I'm going to always stay off to the side at a slight angle the best I can, kind of back, so he's always going forward. If I get directly behind him and he throws that foot forward, he's going to just rip it right through my hand. If I stand too far in front of him and he kicks back, that leg is a lot longer than my arm. When he kicks all the way back, that rope's just going to sizzle right through my hand. So you want to stay in a good, proper position. Want him to keep going. Now again, he's kind of a good old boy here, even though he's young. And sometimes it helps when they're younger, because they don't seem to know they're in danger yet. Then sometimes, usually between about somewhere around 3 to 5, sometimes 2 to 3, but usually around 3 to 5, they all of a sudden start realizing, hey, wait a minute. And but if you get all this done when they're babies, and you can literally do this if you're pretty good with your hands, you can do this as soon as they're up and standing. You can start, you know, putting stuff on them and getting them in binds and letting them figure it out. So what I'm going to do when I'm doing this, I'm going to get just a wee bit further away. My left hand, where my coils are in, are going to stay up against my hip as my balance, as my base. This hand is going to follow the feel of when he starts kicking with that foot, if he starts kicking with that foot. Sometimes these guys will start kicking to the point that this rope is singing. They'll just be hauling off on that foot. And when that happens, you just hang in there. Follow the feel. You really learn to follow the feel pretty quick. And again, try this on a really good horse that really understands it first. Get it before you start something that doesn't get it. Because you'll be missing digits and hurting your horse and kind of messing things up. So practice on those that already know it. So I'm going to plant this, I'm going to plant this, and I'm going to plant me. And I'm going to wait for him here. But what I want him to do is eventually I want him to, there we go, just give that to me nice and soft. And he's asking for, is that right? Saying, yep, that was perfect. Thank you very much. Okay, and then I'll send him off again. So when I pick up on this, I want him to stop. I don't want him kicking or anything. And I don't want him just slamming his foot back down and doing that. I want him to kind of give me that foot so I can play with it. Okay? And if they get too crazy, I'll stand more in the middle and have more line so I don't have to move too much. Again, I plant my hand, I station myself, get that. I'm going to wait if I need to. weight on him, because again, he's just planting his foot. I don't want him to plant it. I want him to give it to me. If he turns to face me, I'll just turn him that way and start again. Wait, wait. There. See how he just kind of gave that to me there a little bit? And then I just set it down and release him. Let him think about that for a minute. He definitely likes to make sure he's doing right. That's good. I want him to check with me, and I'll let him check with me all he wants here in the beginning. Now I'm going to send him off again. He's doing pretty good at that walk, so I'll send him off at a trot. Now sometimes these horses get to where as soon as you pick up on that line, they start running backwards. If that happens, you can have, if you have a pretty good fence line or something and a really good person to help you, they can stand on the other side of that fence where they're not going to get run over or hurt, and just kind of hold the horse on the other side with the dally so that he can't get too bad. But if it gets too bad, you can release him, and then you'll stand on the inside and kind of work that foot so that he actually can't go backwards. Eventually I want him to lead backwards, but if I'm just asking him to stop, then I just want it to stop. So now sometimes we'll see what happens as I start picking up on this as he's going faster. He keeps wanting to stop by his buddies down there, so I'm going to stop him more up here. Again, now if that was barbed wire, he'd have quite a vet bill on your hands. And you just hold. You see my left hand holds the rope coils, gives me stability. My right hand goes with that foot until he gives it to me. Again, check out. Always check with me every single time, but you're doing good. See if he'll go forward. Again, pick him up to that trot. And I want to stay back here, so I keep driving them forward. I don't want them to turn. Sometimes they get so excited and so scared, they'll actually start turning on you. And then you just kind of send him back over. You see how strong he is. I mean, he picks me up and moves me if he moves in the wrong direction. That's pretty good. There, he took it away from me at the last minute. There, good. Nice job, buddy. You want another praise? Okay, yeah, you're doing great. You're doing good. But they're always checking for you. It's a nice thing. You ever get dumped out on the trail, something happens, they come looking back for you, as opposed to the ones that could care less about where you are or what you're doing. But if he's looking to me all the time for support, I'm certainly not going to argue with it. Try and get him going a little bit bigger. Really get him moving. And then, there we go, good job. I'm going to kind of play with that a minute until he gives it to me. He's kind of looking to me, but if he turns too much, I might have to help him out to turn towards me. There we go, good. Also, if you have a horse that's pretty bad about the farrier, you really understood that one, didn't you? If they're really bad about the farrier and they're always trying to kick the farrier. I've had farriers very happy with me after I've done this. Because pretty soon, once or twice out of this, they are a new horse. They don't kick that farrier or nothing. And also, if you have a real rank horse, this can change a horse's attitude like nothing else. A scared horse, a really pushy horse, you can change all sorts of stuff on them getting this done. Because once they understand that you can stop them from their feet and you have control over their feet like this, it's a totally different world for them. They just kind of give to you like crazy. It's almost like laying them down. Again, I'm just doing this left leg here. But you want to be able to do both hind feet. You're going to give them plenty of time. There. And you'll do the front feet too. Front feet are a little bit different. And usually not as critical. It's usually, once you get the hind feet done, usually you're alright doing the rest of them. And I know he's had his feet picked up, so, from these people. But it still helps to do this, because I'm telling you, I've had people call me after I've done this, Val, you've saved my horse's life, because they got all hung up. My daughter's like laughing back there. I'm not sure what from. But anyway, you know, they say, you know, you saved my horse's life because he got all hung up in some wire, and he just stopped and stood there, Val, or he was all hung up, and life is good. Good. Now I'm going to see if he'll actually follow my feel back. Just a little bit. Pick that up. Now I don't want him to face me too much, because then if he kicks, he's going to kick that bar there. And if he kicks that bar with his hind foot, it'll sting him, and he won't like that too much. So I'm going to actually hold pressure, kind of come back just a little bit, but not too much, so that he can rip it through. Hang into it. Wait. He may or may not figure out how to step back here today, and that's alright. I'll see if he does. He's like, well, before it was okay if I just stopped and gave you my foot, so he has to figure out, well, what do you want now? So maybe I want you to follow this just a little bit. It's good that he's giving it to me this long. Alright. I want him to actually just at least put that foot down behind him, and then just kind of put a little bit of weight on it, and I'd be happy with that. He's thinking about it. Not thinking about it. This is when you sing songs or whatever. Just wait, it's patience. Take all the time you need. We have a lifetime. Starting to look at his foot a little bit. He's like, well, what the heck do you want, lady? And this is the same as, they can start working this out. Same as, you know, when you're asking for lateral flexion, then they'll give you lateral flexion, and then you release, as opposed to if you hold that rein out there, then they'll start following that rein if you leave it out there long enough. So they'll start understanding, do I want to just stop, or do I want to follow that? And the horse is smart enough, they can sort it out. You just got to give them time to sort it out. All I want him to do is kind of shift his weight back, put that foot down and shift his weight back, and eventually he will. There, and then I release. Perfect. And you just build from there. Again, this is just working on all these good things. And then you always approach the front. Don't just walk up to the back and do that. And if for some reason you have a really touchy horse, you can come back here. I'm not going to be, but you can come back here and kind of undo that with your foot a little bit. But you can just come down here, undo that a little bit, make it a little looser, step it down, and then say, good boy. And then he'll just walk right on out of it. And if they're real young or something, you can even tie a knot in here so it only gets so tight so that you can drop it if you need to. But he's really not a problem handling him, so he's alright. So anyway, that's how you do the hind feet, and we'll do the next time. Thanks.